toy box. We have a special package here today for our unboxing, and one would even say it's out of this world. We have a special guest. Bumblebee is here to join us today while we take a look at this product. I ordered it from Big Bad Toy Store. It finally came about a week ago, and I've been nipping at the bits to get this thing open and looked at, but I've been waiting so I could do this with you guys and record it on YouTube. So I appreciate you being here, and let's get started. All right. Bumblebee's been excited because ever since he's joined us in the house, he's been lonely, and this kind of gives a hint to what we have coming here today. Been making, trying to decide whether or not I've been wanting to do this, but more and more has been convincing me, considering how excited I've been with Bumblebee and what came in. Oh, look at this! It's a box within a box. All right, let's get this out here. Get this out the way. All right. Transformers: The Last Night by 3A. All right. Last Night. Let's see what this is. Bumblebee, you excited, buddy? Optimus Prime. Packaging already looks awesome. Get this out the box and have him join us. Couldn't be more excited or impressed by 3A's ability to create these figures. They're superposable, partly die-cast, and just the detail blew me away with Bumblebee. From the accessories to the tires to the carbon fiber prints, the battle damage, and just the size. I don't know, I collect a lot of 6-inch figures, and to me the bigger they are, the more impressive they are, but you do run out of room carrying these things, and with other Legos and other things that I have in my collection, I've almost become very picky about what I pick up next, mainly because you run out of room to display it all. And some people, some collectors, have a tendency to, to sell what they have, to move on to the next product, which I get. I mean, it's, like you said, you run out of room, so you kind of really want to be choosy with what you spend your money on. For me, I've been fortunate enough to have space to want to build dioramas, include like Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, and have a really cool background and put them on a shelf together and just have it tell a story just with those figures and the accessories and stuff like that, and kind of build on that. Not necessarily build in the same theme or the same line, but have one shelf with a Transformer idea, another shelf with Marvel series or Star Wars, or even video games like StarCraft, or I just really like what Lego's been doing lately too with their Ultimate Series collectors, with the Star Wars line. So it's been kind of hard to want to do it all, and be able to afford it all. So again, you kind of have to really be choosy. All right. So let's take a look at the box before we move any further. The cover, it's almost like a really thick plastic, translucent. It says Transformers Optimus Prime: The Last Night, retail edition. Okay. Let's let's turn it around here. Again, Transformers has the logo and Optimus Prime, and there's a Velcro attachment here, so we'll open that up. And has a pretty cool silhouette of Optimus, almost like a 3D scan, and barcode and other items. And it's from, we all know, 3A. I couldn't be more impressed with what they've been doing. So let's open her up. Alright, to kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at size-wise in comparison to Optimus Prime's box, here is Bumblebee's. That's the packaging that he came in with. Just to show you the size comparison between the two, I'm already pretty excited the fact that Optimus is going to be, as he should, to scale with how much bigger he is compared to Bumblebee. I was, again, blown away by the packaging, by the art, and I love to see how they carried that through with the Last Night Bumblebee to the Last Night Optimus Prime. And 3A, if you catch wind of this, I hope seriously you continue with this line, because I will gladly collect them all. You guys really blew me away, and I'm excited to have this added into my collection. Alright, without further ado, let's get her open. Here we go. I'm just going to just undo the Velcro. Plastic sheathing is pretty cool all on its own. Alright, we got another package holder here. I'm going to lay her down so nothing falls out. Now this is pretty cool. Before I even go any further, I don't know if I can make out this detail or not, but it's even almost, the styrofoam is engraved with Transformers, the Autobots insignia with another circular kind of detail to it, and it's even engraved in the styrofoam Optimus Prime alone. And that's a pretty wicked. Oh. Alright, let's not do that. Let's get that out of here. Ah, I love that fresh smell. That styrofoam smells so good. Okay, oh, this is so awesome. So first things first, I want to make sure you guys see this. First things first, we have instruction manual, full 3D color, a lot of detail. We open it up, and it's just every kind of articulation and movement and detail and cautionary about how you can do it, what you should put together, batteries, it's just how to hook up his sword, his shield, and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. Dang, man. The detail looks incredible. That sword is just awesome. The shield too. There's a lot of really cool weather damage here. Shoulders, a couple other knickknacks that look pretty cool. I think that's his exhaust, and then a dagger. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna leave it in here. I'll fast forward here in a second to putting him together for you. Let's see what's on the inside. And of course, there he is, full glory. Wow, it looks so good. The painting, the detail, his head. Kind of loose, but I don't know what that's all about. Might have to look into it and see why. Man. His face shield. Color some other knickknacks here. But alright, let's get into, oh, I see why it's not attached. See? Camera? But that's fine. It's a ball joint and it was loose, so cool. Well, we'll get him out of the box and put together for a little review, okay? Stay tuned. Take a seat because I feel like we're going to be here in a minute. Let's going. He is simply massive. Look at that, already sitting on his feet. Get these little accessories out of here to kind of see where they go. Got his face shield here, and I don't think there's anything else in this bottom section. Alright. Now, before we begin, I wanted to kind of take a look at his stance. He's just so beefy. There's a lot of detail too, a lot of weathering, a lot of speckles, especially in the silver paint and the blue paint. Definitely doesn't look pristine, like he's been through damage in battle. The armor, he even has on his pauldrons, his shoulder plates here, some alien Autobot probably insignia, and even look at his tail, his exhaust pipes in the back. Just they're weathered like titanium, burnt titanium kind of look. Please press and hold first before adjusting the torso. Yeah, there's a button here. So I guess in order to adjust his torso, what you need to do is, there's a lever here that you push in order to rotate and to move around. That's pretty cool. One thing I liked what 3A did when I discovered this with Bumblebee. Bumblebee has a skeletal structure, but then every armor plate on the front and the back is almost on a ball joint and swivels out of your way. The shoulder joint doesn't just articulate up and down, but it rotates inward and outward and up and down on a separate joint. So there's multiple joints to make a complex structure just to move one limb. The head is the ball joint, the elbows are a hinge joint, and the fingers are a combination of the two. I'm curious to see how Optimus is structured. Yeah, it's very similar to Bumblebee. They're very tight joints, which I like because it makes it better for posing. It is a heavy figure and massive, so you don't want loose joints when it comes to these kind of figures. Let's get his head on. Again, it's just a ball joint. You just should be able just to pop it right in. Yeah, much better. Just love it. Let's get them side by side real quick just to kind of see the difference. And as it should be, Prime should be standing over him. He's much bigger in size-wise. Love it. These two look just amazing, and I'm totally happy with how this is my decision picking him up. Thank you, Big Bag Toy Store. You guys did great getting him to me. It's amazing. Alright, let's take a look at his accessories. See, Bumblebee is cool. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the I guess premium scale, or I forget the term of it, but it's they have always two versions, a standard version and a premium model, and I didn't know there was a premium one at the time. And really, from my understanding, the only difference is the two comes with a hand that you can change out to be his blaster. So I wasn't fortunate enough to pick that up, which is I'm okay with. But the axe is cool, and you can take it out of his grasp and mount it to the back of his onto his back, so it could be posable. And the same thing with Optimus, from my understanding, he has the shield and the sword, and you're able to pose him so many different ways with these accessories. So let's kind of get them out so we can take a look at them a little bit closer. Optimus over here. This thing is massive. There's so much detail, I love it. Just all throughout. Different things open up and swivel. That's pretty cool. Some gold accents, some plates in the back that transition and move. Really, really went the extra mile with the weathering. I love it. Looks great. Alright, let's get this out. cool other little knickknacks they got here. Curious to see where these go. Really strong battery for some connection for some reason. Although it doesn't want to seem to fit. I don't know, let's see what that is. This blade. From other people's videos, I know that's posable and you can put that on his wrist and when he's in attack mode. He's in the middle of fighting to kind of get that blade transition. I'm sure these are the holders for the sword and the shield. This is probably what I've been waiting for. Take a look at this sword, because it looks bad. Now this is one fancy letter opener. I could totally put this on my desk and yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's not sharp enough, but it just looks so cool. Painting is so good. No weather. The weathering is awesome. That is pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. It's funny too because whenever I order things like this, my wife, she doesn't get mad. I mean, anybody who's married, you know, when you have a spouse that likes to collect things, you're like, oh gosh, how much did you spend now? What did you do? And especially if you don't say anything until a package shows up. But you know, she's had really positive criticism and very supportive about my hobbies. So I definitely can appreciate that. And she's actually come to enjoy these, especially Bumblebee. When I took him out of the package, she was blown away by the detail, by how cool it looked, and you know, and when you have a space for it and you have a purpose for it, it becomes part of your household and something to enjoy looking at. She really had no idea these things existed until I introduced them to, and to be honest with you, I didn't really follow up on most of this stuff until a couple of years ago when I could start affording it. And that's the kind of thing is, this hobby can easily sweep you away. You could just get encompassed with just purchasing it all and quickly getting overwhelmed by how expensive some of these things can be. Statues, torsos, figures. You know, one thing after another, you're spending thousands of dollars on these things, especially when Optimus Prime here retails for like mid 400s, $500 to your door, something like that. I think I spent like $515 on him, and mid 300s on Bumblebee, and that's like $900 total just for the two of them. And they're awesome, but again, it's a hobby, it's your interest. People spend money on many different things, so you kind of have to just see if that's something you're really interested to. Just go for it, enjoy it, you know, enjoy the hobby. These things have an excellent resale value, and that's something people don't really realize is you can, if you really needed to, sell them down the road. I mean, most of these Legos I have, they're expensive up front, but guess what? They go up in value later on too when they get discontinued, and there's a market for it. So you're never really wasting money. You're more like putting it away into something that interests you. So I would say, you know, just enjoy what you want, you know, responsibly. But, you know, all that being said, I can go on that tangent all day long. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at the map. Let's kind of see what we can do here. Part of this process is just enjoying how these things go together and what it is. Battery, installation, and light up the head. So, okay, I'll take a look at that. Exchangeable masks. That's pretty cool. He has a face shield on there now, so I guess there's this second one. It's magnetized, so let's take a look and see. Yep, pops right out. I guess we could pop that one back on. Is that how that works? Boom. Yep. Well, that's his mouth. That's kind of cool. guess it all depends on the pose, what I want to do with them. Movable parts, press and hold the abs first before adjusting the torso articulation. Put sword in the right hand. Oh, okay, so in order to do that, you have to put this little attachment into his hand first, and that will clasp the handle of the sword a little bit better. So let's do that. Let's take a look at that. Again, I like how tight these joints are with the fingers, because it helps keep things in place when you want to pose them in probably a difficult situation. So it says put it into the wrist first, and I see that there. It'll snap in. Looks like only one way, because if I did it the other way, it wouldn't fit all two. Yeah, it won't fit that way. There we go. Okay, that's in. And now, get the sword in there. Look at that. Just compared to how tall he is, that sword is literally the size of him. Maybe 1 inch shorter. I mean, it is the size of Bumblebee. That's just crazy. His sword is just as tall as Bumblebee. Now that's got to be demasculinating. I wouldn't want to be attacked by something that's the same size as me. And voila. Alright. What else we got here? Shoulder pivots 360. To move the inner shoulder joint, first adjust the silver shoulder armor upwards. Then rotate the blue shoulder armor. Silver. Oh, I see what it's like, almost like his neck. So they say this neck needs to move up, and then that way you can rotate the shoulder armor in and out of the way. Kind of almost. So it rotates and it swivels on a single axis. So let's see, because that looks different than what the photo is showing. Wonder why that is. Elbow. So you see his chest piece moves out of the way, his kind of like his neck armor, and then we can rotate that up. Push in his shoulder to adjust the torso. Oh, that's not bad. And I'm being gentle. You know, these things are so stiff, and they are very posable. So you could do a lot. I've seen a lot of people do different kind of poses with them, and it's cool. So I'm gonna get there. I'm kind of just introducing. I'm still kind of overwhelmed by him because he looks pretty awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to get him on my shelf with Bumblebee and enjoy it. Caution, and they do a really good descriptive job, just kind of laying out every shoulder, elbow, his back, shoulder movements, how to open up his wrist armor and attach the shield. And so the same arm, the left arm, can attach the shield, but you can't attach the dagger without having the shield off, which I don't know why you would want to do that anyways. Look, it even shows him doing the splits. Like, that's how posable he is. He can literally do the splits. Foot movement, pull through armor down before posing legs outward, rotate, That's pretty cool. Yeah, so I guess there's a piece in his shoulder that moves up and down to help with posing. Alright, let's take a look at the shield here. So the shield comes with additional parts that you have to put on. Battery installation and light up the gun. Oh, so that's the gun. Okay. So we got to put that on. Weapon A mode, weapon B mode. That's pretty cool. So I guess this is weapon B mode, and this is just weapon A mode. It's a little shorter and stout, and that's much longer and aggressive looking by the looks of it. Battery installation and light up. That's pretty cool. And then it shows you how you can mount either his sword on his back or the combination of the shield and the sword. That's pretty cool. Let's play with that here for a minute. Alright, let's take a look at this shield. The detail is just remarkable. Alright, let's take a look at the instructions and see what to do. Looks like there's sliders for these fins, but it doesn't want to. It's really sticky. There we go. There we go. It's like full posing mode. And then this goes on top. Does this open too? Looks like it does. How? Whoops. I don't want to force it. Am I looking at the wrong side? Looks like it opened. See it wanting to connect, but the manual shows that it splits open. Let's take a closer look. Oh, it does. Okay. It actually splits open. But I wonder if you just force it or you hit a button. To transform shield into weapons mode, first pull up and untab upper blue area from peg. Then slide downward on track. Pull up and untab the upper blue area from your peg. Okay, I did that. That's what that was all about. And that one. So that's done. Then slide it outwards on the track. These bottom portions do not want to move. Oh! Maybe they're just stiff. You know, something like this though, you never want to force too much So that worked, but let's try to see. It doesn't look like it's 100%. How did it move? I can just identify. There's so many layers to the shield. Usually you can see where the gliding happens, but it's like underneath. Now it's stuck. Okay. Oh, did I figure it out? Okay, that's that side. Ah, there we go. It is pretty tight, that's for sure. Ah, that's weapons mode. Pretty cool. Butterflies out. Now it's cool because you can see almost like the gantry, if that's what you call it, of the gun. Now, and it should be all magnetic, how it pops in. And I'm not going to mess around with the light features right now or putting the batteries in. To be honest with you, I'm pretty bad at that. I know the gimmicks are cool, but I kind of wished these figures had some sort of outlet connection. That way, you're not changing batteries when they die. You could just turn it on and off with a light switch. And a lot of people are modding aftermarket with that, and I think that's the coolest thing ever. But I just haven't had the chance to want to even dive into that. I've done a lot of soldering myself in the past, but where's the back? Go like that. That's pretty cool. Well, it doesn't seem like it's hitting for some reason. Makes me feel like this isn't open all the way. And that has some weight to it, that's for sure. This thing is pretty cool. Optimus Prime's ready for battle for this thing. So that's weapons B mode, and that's pretty cool. Again, it's pretty much all magnetic. Here, let me take this back. This is the back side. And just the weathering, the detail, the painting, it's pretty sick. That's for sure. Yeah. I seriously love these statues. Couldn't be more thrilled. That's pretty awesome. Alright, let's get it on. Let's see what we need to do. That's pretty cool. And there are little antennas. I didn't put them on, but there are supposed to be little antennas here that come in this bag that you attach on the shield right at the bottom. And they kind of go in these little peg grooves from what the picture shows. Like that one on this side, and they fit almost snug. There's only one way you can put them in. Same thing on this side. Okay, so those are in. by the looks of it, that's the only place, because they gave you two, maybe because if other ones break. And let's put a shield on. I kind of like this one too, just the short gun mode. Let's take a quick look at that. So the short gun mode, weapons A mode, you take that out and you replace it with the shorter stout. And that's pretty cool. And that's even with, so weapons A mode looks like that. And you can still see the gun. Ah, that shield. They did such a good job engineering this. Looks so good. Alright, let's get this on. Am I missing? Where's the shield? Oh, okay. Pull the armor out. 1, 2. So I have to replace. Okay. So it looks like on his shoulder. Oh, we got a piece coming off. As soon as I picked them up, something fell off. So this little, I don't know if you can see this. This is kind of interesting. And that's happened the second I picked them up. So he has armor piece covering his exhaust manifolds there, but really they're just 3 prongs and they fit right in, so they kind of just go into, nothing snaps or anything, it's just a compression fit, but that's kind of, you always have to be careful, you always have to grasp before you lift just to make sure nothing comes off or falls off. But I mean, it's not an action figure, not an actual toy, it's, see what I mean? That just fell off again. So you kind of have to be careful. And it wraps around his torso, so if you grab right there, you're going to likely take it off. So let's take a look at his wrist. And you have to be careful. I mean, these are, as posable as they are, they're not made to be played with consistently. Just like pose. I mean, you can do whatever you want, it's yours, but when you have one of these. But for me, it's more of a enjoyment seeing them, looking at them constantly than anything else. So let's take a look. How does this attach? So this, I have to replace the wrist armor with this one because it has a peg, and that peg helps you to attach the shield directly onto it like that. So that's one of the things we have to replace on his wrist here. So you kind of, it looks like it's a compression fitting, so you kind of just have to, yep, boom. Just gently take it off. And there you go, that's off. So I hope, just wanted to double check I didn't break anything. Whenever you hear those crackles on plastic, you always worry. You know, a lot of people complained from Sideshow, or not a lot, I should rephrase that, but people have complained that when you get a new statue in, there's broken pieces. I've seen people do reviews and they're like, oh, look at that, that's a nice. Alright, so let's see here. This almost looks, this is kind of interesting. So this is an armor piece, but it's long and slender, but there's 3 pieces and they're all connected, and they have this like chain link kind of connection. That's pretty cool. And it has this weird like underhook, and I'm curious to see where this actually attaches to. And I looked in the manual and I don't see. Oh wait, removable, is that where it is? That's his groin? Yeah, look at that, it is. Okay, let's take a look at this. That's outward, so this is the left side. And that's a ball joint, that's kind of weird. How does that work? It's almost like a skirt piece. And it's funny too, because in the photo, the piece is painted silver and this is just like plastic white. That's kind of interesting. And it's a U-shaped. I don't know if you can see this, but it's like a little U ring. Each side of the U is a ball. So it was already curved up, just probably for posability and it lets you swing it out more, but getting it attached is a pain. Not easy, because the other side wants to move it with your compression. There, there we go. Okay, let's do the other side. Oh, yeah, not too bad. Okay. And that kind of helps complete his skirt look. I want to move his torso back a little bit because he's kind of flexed forward. So you're supposed to push on the abs. Just push on the ab. Oh, I guess, so, see what I mean? I'm pushing on the ab, and I can pretty much, he's doing a crunch. That's pretty cool. But that's pretty much as far back. There we go. Not too bad, not too bad. I couldn't be happier with this thing. I could say that a million times. It really looks awesome. So that's the arm. What is this one? So I know these pieces here. One's to attach the sword onto the shield onto his back. The other one, oh I see. Is that for this? Okay, so it comes with multiple pieces. From my understanding, this piece you replace on his wrist lets you attach his dagger. Let's give that a shot real quick before we finish up. I think I might do a video too, or snap a quick photo after I pose him for the video too. I think that might be kind of cool. Let's take that off. Take this off. I hate that snap. Probably shouldn't be happening either way. So the wrist is the same. So I guess maybe in theory you could have them both. Have the shield and the wrist dagger on. It really has to be flat because they don't really give you much play. Let's put this back on real quick. Oh no, I'm not doing it upside down, it just doesn't want to go on. Take your time, don't force anything, because that's when oopsies happen. Probably my perspective too, because I'm trying to do this in front of the camera. There we go. Oh, there we go. Now we go. Okay, so that's the dagger. That's kind of cool. In the movie, you know, he used this dagger several times to take out Decepticons. I think he battled Megatron with the dagger too, if my memory serves me right. That's pretty cool. I just love that sword. Oh man. Alright, let's take that off. Dagger's cool, but I don't think I'm going to leave it on him right now. And I kind of like the casual poses with what doing Bumblebee, kind of like in the middle of a talk, or they're posing for like a selfie. So I may do the sword and the shield on the back, or Optimus like having the sword in the ground, he's kind of like leaning on it. I don't know, we'll see. We shall see. And that's, like I say, that's it, folks. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. More unboxing videos to come and Lego build, so stick with it. I hope you get a chance to subscribe and like the channel. Please leave your comments and feedbacks. I'm always looking to improve and to expand, so I love hearing from you guys. Thank you for joining Ben's Toy Box. We'll see you in the next one.